What's going on, everybody? You know what it is, man. It's your boy Pitts, Pitt Sports Zone, Bowie TV, coming to you live yet again. Yes, it's me. I'm back. But this time, we are kicking off our Women in Sports HBCU edition. And who else? And started off with the Tiana Cephers, Delaware State University Assistant Athletic Director of Media Relations. That is a mouthful. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. And to add to that mouthful, I'm also the senior woman administrator.
See, 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 even she knew it was a mouthful because she said to add to that mouthful, which means that she's probably said that before, like, ooh, child, we need some acronyms.
Yeah, I do. I do.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Can't
Thank you
complain.
very much for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things, and I'll just briefly, one of the things or the reason and the platforms of why, Pits and Push was started was to be a resource to students who are not aware, may not have all of the information when it pertains to HBCUs. Because I'm from Pittsburgh, we don't have HBCUs in Pittsburgh. I didn't learn about HBCUs until I moved here to the Maryland area, and also to basically combat the narrative that a lot of people who's never attended HBCUs or never stepped foot on HBCUs, they always have a narrative that is not contrary to everything that we stand for. So in order instead of arguing with them online, decided to go ahead and give us a voice. And I definitely thank you for taking this time because women in sports is one of the most important. Because listen, y'all do a lot that a lot of people don't see and that you don't get credit for. And I want to give you those your acknowledgments of the achievements and the accolades that you have done thus far, and so many more to come.
Well, I appreciate that. Just speaking on your HBCU, why you started this, I love it. I went to HBCU and I worked in nothing but HBCU since I started my career. So, and people often ask me, why are you still in HBCUs? Like, isn't it, haven't you had enough? Or isn't it the same everywhere you go? And I have friends who have actually gotten out of HBCUs and working at PWIs, and they're like, I'm never going back. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I have had the thought before I got this job. I have had the thought, like, let me go work at a PWI. Let me see what it's all about. Let me, and my mom actually stop saying that, because let her tell it, and if it's good, you know, I'm here for a reason, and I always often tell my student workers and GAs, like, I want to do for y'all what was done for me, and that's paving a way. Because you don't, a lot of HBCU students, even though these schools were created for us, we go here, we get our degrees, we work hard, and we still don't get those opportunities
Mm.
unless someone like me, or a male helping a male or a male helping a woman, helps you get there. It's all about who you know nowadays. It's not about what you know. So that's what I'm here to do. That's why I still work at HBCUs, because I know without the help that I got at
Yeah.
my HBCU, I wouldn't be here where I am today.
And that's the frustrating piece that is no longer about what you know, is who you know, and it's kind of been that way, but it seems like later and then now in times of today, it's more of the who you know, whether you have the accolades or not, right? And I thank you for sharing that. And for you being in sports, like, can you kind of background us and take us through that journey and what made you want to be a part of the sports culture?
So I actually ran track. I had ran track since I was 4 years old. I was,
Okay, speak. What you read?
well, before I got to college, I ran everything. Whatever my coach put me in, he was like, "You're in it." But then by the time I got to like high school area, I was running, but I was on like relays, and then I mainly focused on jumping, long jump,
Oh,
because that's where I ended up getting a scholarship for, is long jump and triple jump. So that
okay.
was my specialty. And once I got to Southern, well, let me back up even further than that. So when I was in high school, everyone doesn't know this, but I wanted to be an architect.
Mm.
Actually, the high school that I went to in Colorado, actually, they had a class specifically geared towards architecture. And I was sitting there one day and I was like, I really don't want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, look at your computer. And I was really good at math. That's what really did it. Like, I was really good at math. I was really good at with numbers and just, I love designing. I love, and that's where my love for producing comes in because I love to like look at stuff and be like, oh, okay, like we can do this. We can do one day I told my dad, I was like, I really don't want to be an architect anymore. He was like, well, you need to figure it out because you're about to graduate. So he said, think about what you know and what you love.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I know sports. And I guarantee you not, you can check my TVs at my house and my parents' house. Every time you turned on the TV, ESPN would come on. So, I mean, I'm talking. We're on our way home from church, and my dad has ESPN. You're watching the games. Like my entire family is nothing. My grandma gets so upset during the holidays because that's all we watch is sports, sports, sports. She's like, "Can we put a Christmas movie on or something?" I'm like, "Grandma, you know where you at? Like, chill out."
That's love.
So me, that's all I knew growing up. So that's what I knew. And I love sports. Like my brother was a linebacker. I love football. I know football. Like that's my number one sport. Then, it goes, a lot of people don't know this either, but I love baseball.
Who you like? What teams you like? Okay. You know what? After you're done, I'm going to do a plug pause and then we're going to go back to the end. But go ahead. You like baseball. What else?
Baseball, then basketball for me. And then every other sport kind of trickles down. But, so just thinking about what I know and what I love, I was like, well, I love sports. So both of my parents actually majored in mass communications. They just didn't pursue it once they graduated. So I made a vow. I said, I'm going to major in mass communications and my career is going to be in what I got a degree in. And it is. So that's how I got to sports. So when I got to college, ran track. My deputy AD at the time, Travion Scott, he's the AD at Grambling now. Actually, I was like, man, I need to get hooked up with like the something department in athletics. Like, what y'all got? He was like, well, you need to get with Chris. That was my boss at the time, sports information. So I was like, all right. So my senior year, I actually had an internship at one of the news stations this summer before my senior year. I stayed in Baton Rouge, worked news station, sports information department at Southern. And then from there, it just took off. Student worker that year, my senior year, went back, got my master's, worked with them, was a GA. And then actually in the middle of getting my master's, my boss left and they promoted me to associate sports information director at Southern. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm getting my opportunity, show them what I was made of. And then COVID hit. So I was like, dang. So then I was just like, everyone was at home just being bored. So
I was
just
crazy.
Right. So I was just online looking for a job. Like, what's my next opportunity? Being a director. So I was looking at director jobs. When I tell you, I had to apply for probably about 50 jobs and didn't even know it because I was in Atlanta. I was visiting my best friend. And a number from West Virginia called me. And I was like, okay.
State.
Right. So I answered, and my mentor, still my mentor today, Felicia Oaks, she was like, hey, like.
Shout out to Felicia.
Shout out to Felicia Oaks. She was like, we want to, set up an interviewed over the phone. Like of course it was still COVID. So interviewed over the phone, virtual interview. I think like days later, she was like, you got the job. I moved to Bluefield, West Virginia. So that's
you moved to the mountains.
I moved to the mountains. And when I tell you, everyone thought I was crazy because not only it was an area I've never known. Like my cousins lived in Virginia, but I never visited them. Yeah. Didn't really have family in Virginia until they had moved their families. My dad's from New Jersey. That's the furthest I went east, like East Coast wise. Okay. So Virginia, West Virginia was new for me. So I got there. Everyone thought I was crazy because I moved in the middle of a pandemic. And I was just like, okay, well, this is fun.
This is fun.
And I had never lived on my own. Like that was my first time living on my own. I had my first big girl job and I went into it. I said, this is my stepping stone. And shout out to my AD. Yeah. Shout out to my AD at the time, Derek Price. He's the senior associate AD now at Hampton. So it's just like, I shout out those people because they're the ones who gave me my opportunity. And
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. Even Roman Banks, I can't forget him. He gave me opportunity at Southern, even though I wasn't the director. He promoted me,
Yeah.
um, and he let me get that experience while I was still in grad school. So that's taking a chance on me. I appreciate those people forever, because I definitely wouldn't be here today. Chris, that was my boss. I to this day I say he taught me everything, the basics really about sports information, and it's evolved since then, obviously.
Absolutely.
But I've definitely had to teach myself a lot, but I definitely learned a lot from him, and I'll never forget that. So that's kind of how I got into sports. Still in it,
Yeah.
probably not going anywhere, but
Nah, you're not. You're not. Ain't no probably. You're not. So
yeah.
one, definitely big ups and to all of the individuals that you named that helped you along the way, because that's all we need is just an opportunity. All we need in life is for someone to give us an opportunity for us to showcase exactly what it is, our skill set, and what it is that we can do to aid, assist, and grow in ourselves. So big ups to everyone that gave you an opportunity, because that's something that we need in today's world, climate, and the way that things are transpiring around us. And the pause that I wanted to make was because so y'all got a fun fact from Tiana, and I ain't even asked her a fun fact yet that nobody else knew. She said she wanted to be an architect. Let's just put that out there, right? Because I don't know how many of y'all knew that. I didn't know that, right? So then the other thing is, you said, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's football, baseball, basketball.
Yes.
And you want to know what's crazy? That's
What?
my order. That's my order too. you know,
I,
I'm I'm everything Pittsburgh. We ain't have a basketball team in Pittsburgh, so it was football, baseball, and basketball was just entertainment.
mm-hmm.
So let's do this. I don't know if I think you said it, but I'm just going to ask you again. If you can let the viewers and listeners know, where are you from?
I was born. Let me make it one. People who may see this, she's not from there. I was
Uh-huh.
born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My roots are from Baton Rouge. My mom, born and raised there. All her family, my mama, my uncles, my aunt still live there. So roots from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I always claim them. I was raised in Colorado. So
Okay.
that's how I became a Broncos fan, because I was raised in Colorado.
Ah, dang. You was doing so well.
You're doing
I
so
mean, you was doing so well. We were
well.
vibing.
I
And
know.
I was just about to ask you, what is your favorite NFL team? And, out the window.
Yeah, man.
Nah, I'll play. You know what? It's okay. I don't have no, I don't have no issues with them. Terrell Davis, the Elways, the Atwaters. I'm a fan of the old Denver Broncos.
Oh, Shannon Sharp, he was on.
Yeah, Club Shay Shay. Yeah, he was out there too before it was Club Shay Shay. Okay, so last question I wanted to ask, or last icebreaker, I guess I can say. What is your favorite travel destination or dream destination you'd like to go to?
Ooh, Turks and Caicos. Turks
Mm,
and Caicos. I really want to. That was supposed to be my next trip. Come when I get my next vacation, but everyone's decided to go to Cabo. I guess I don't know, but go to Turks and Caicos. It just looks so beautiful. Matter of fact,
yeah.
I kind of want to take that back. The Maldives. The Maldives.
Okay.
It's between those two, but both look like, yeah, I gotta go there.
Yeah. You're right. I agree. Yeah, I could definitely see Turks and Caicos water. My
Yeah.
best friend just came back from there. I'm jealous.
I mean, one of my GA, she went there this summer, and I'm just like, dang, did you have fun at least? But
So, what challenges have you experienced? Any challenges that you've had to overcome during this process?
yes,
Mm,
and this is me speaking for me.
yeah,
I can't speak for every woman, every person who's been in athletics or just sports, period. But
absolutely.
for me, personally, I started my career very young. Um, I think I was 24, 20,
Okay.
maybe 23, and I turned 24 right when I got the opportunity. So I think I was 23. So being young, being black, and being
Yeah.
those are three off top that just
Those are three strikes that normally is against you.
every time, and it doesn't matter. So I can tell you it's gotten a lot better, but
Okay.
there's still challenges.
Yeah.
Just even working here at Dell State, um, everybody I work with, whether it's in my department or outside my department, is older than me. There
Mm.
might be like one or two people who are either younger than me or right on my level, or just maybe like in their 30s, because I'm not in my 30s yet. But it's just a challenge because I'm often asked, or they question, oh, and it's not saying that they don't have the right to, because some people just don't know what we do in athletics, so they'll ask,
Absolutely.
or it's just people looking at me like she looks kind of young. And I can tell you where I really get it from. It's not in my workplace; it's when I go to other places.
And that was about to ask you. I'm pretty sure because your campus know who you are,
Yeah,
right? It's advertised, it's broadcasted, it's known, it's plastered on the website, it's plastered on the TVs at school. But I'm pretty sure when you go to other universities, they're looking at you like, wait, who are you? Are
yeah.
you a
There's
student?
right. No, seriously, or you know, it's just a lot of like, we didn't expect you.
Mm.
They'll talk to me on the phone or they'll email me. And then if I travel with my teams, it's kind of like they have to do a double take, or, and I won't name the school. I won't, but I'll tell you about my experience.
Was
So
it this year?
yes,
I can guess who it is.
I'm sure
I
you can.
I can
That's,
guess I
that's
can
why
guess who it is. Well, I just want to ask this. I just want to ask this question. Is
yeah,
it is it is it in the same area?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Jesus be offense.
Be a fence. And I
Mm,
I had to go, I had to call on him several times while I was there, because I
mm.
believed it, but I couldn't. I said, we're in 2025 and people still acting like this. Like,
Jesus.
and it's crazy because people warn me, people like, there, they a little, and I get it. I know where I was
Yeah.
at. I went to predominantly white schools my entire life until I got to college. It doesn't bother me, but what bothers me is you try to downplay my role and we're in the same role. Matter of
Yeah.
fact, and I wanted to say something. I said really higher than you, but
Yeah.
we won't talk about it. But it just amazes me because then I go to our NACTA conference, or you know, SIDs and other administrators, and you just see all these people from all over the world, now
Yeah.
the United States, at these different colleges and universities. And some people are just so like, oh, just keep going, talking to you, and they're giving advice. And then there's some people who just stare at you, and you're like, are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy because I had a similar experience with that same place, and I'm not even going to hold you. For a moment, I was kind of like taken aback, right? Because I was like, huh?
Yeah.
And the reasons that I was given was so absurd. Like, you got to be kidding me. And I felt so disrespected in that moment. But, can't keep a good one, dog. Still made my way.
I just kept, and this is from a movie, but my mom used to just always say it. She just like, just smile and wave, smile, smile. Literally, that's all you.
It's hard. It's hard though in those environments.
It is.
It's
It's
hard in those environments.
because they're just, and you got the people around them looking at the way they're acting, and
And not saying anything.
some of them were like, huh? And they were cool, like they were nice, but the person in charge was just acting out. And I'm just like, there's no way that you have, no, there's
The
no way.
autonomy. No, and you know what? We don't even. We both know exactly. Because that's where I met you.
Hmm.
So we definitely don't have to harp on that too much, but it is. I can definitely still see the challenges that you face, especially being a black woman, being a woman, and then being a young woman. The looks they probably looking like. Okay, who was your, who should I be talking to? No, you should be talking to me. I'm the one that you need to talk to.
Right.
So kudos to you for, having that where to really, not allow, because it's easy to allow the emotions to take part in that. It's easy to feel offended and disrespected and voice yourself. But kudos to you for just allowing the wave to ripple through, and whatever happens happens. So when you talk about, so I understand those challenges. Talk about the impact of women in sports, and what impacted you and made you want to continue to further. I know the love of the sports is there. I know it has been set. Your parents, you said, was mass communication majors, so it's in the blood, right? Like what they say, Louisiana, baby. So so just talk about, like, who was some of the role models, excuse me, that you looked up to during that time?
So, another fun fact when
Okay.
where I wanted to.
I'm about to charge y'all because y'all getting a lot of fun facts from Tiana today, but we're going to go ahead, Tiana. You can give them one more. Don't give them no more after this. They ain't paid for it.
It's not, and it's not really a fun fact. It still can be done, but it's just a different path that I'm taking. So I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I still want to be. So
Okay.
my two role models that I looked up to, or still look up to, is Jamel Hill and Maria Taylor.
Mm.
Love them to death, love them down. So I just look at Jamel Hill, and I actually met her when I went to a conference,
Yeah.
and she's just so humbling. I know she's always on on Twitter or X now, and or other platforms, and people are always trolling her, and she trolls right back, and that's what I respect about her, because at the end of the day, us women in sports, we get it 10 times harder than men, and that's just what it is. So I respect her because she gives it right back to him
Yeah.
every single time, because she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of men, they'll look at me and I'll start talking about sports, and they're just like,
They're amazed. It's like they're shocked.
yeah. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I mean, and they expect us, because like, even when I'm sitting at someone's house or something, I'm like, turn the game on or something, and they expect you to say something else. I'm like, no, I want to watch the game. Like, what
They
are you
want
doing?
they want you to turn on HDTV.
Right. Like, I don't watch, like, I watch my shows now. I watch my shows, but if a game is on, it doesn't have to be my team. Like, I just
Yeah.
love to watch good games, like good football, good basketball, good baseball. Like, I love to watch it, even though my Yankees aren't in the playoffs. I'll still watch it.
I like
So
how you try to say that real low so y'all can't hear, but unfortunately, her Yankees are home. I just wanted to say it out loud for y'all to hear, for those who missed it in the back.
but no, those are the two I look up to. Maria Taylor, she's just so poised, and both of them, being booted out of ESPN and then going their separate ways and thriving. Just so much respect for them, because they could have let that ruin their career, and they didn't. And that just shows so much about them, and that just shows that women can do it in sports.
Absolutely.
We do it in sports, and we will
Absolutely.
continue to do it in sports.
Absolutely. Some of the most intriguing conversations I have at times are with women in sports, because women who cover sports, and it's fun conversation because the energy. Like, I had made a comment to a group that I'm in, a Pittsburgh group that I'm in, and I told them that I'm no longer talking sports for people who don't know the intricacies of the game. For people who just watch football and see X's and O's, they see offense, defense, and the score, but they're not really paying attention to the detail of how the game transpired or how it unfolded to get the outcome that it did. I have no interest in talking football with them. It's like me just spinning my wheels over and over, and the other person's just like, yeah, it still don't matter.
Yeah.
Still don't matter. But
It's
you
like
definitely got to shout out M. Taylor 25 on Instagram. I ain't gonna say it in her version. She said, "Yes, Tiana, that's my bestie. That's my best version of saying it the way she typed it, with all the A's and all the S.
Well, her name's Maria Taylor too. So Shout out to her.
Oh,
Yeah, so we worked together and we're still friends today. We worked together at Bluefield State. She was an athletic trainer at
okay.
Bluefield State. So we was in the trenches together, and she still she works at Lord, I didn't forgot the name, Lord Jesus. But she works in North Carolina still. Um,
Okay. Also, I need to get Maria Taylor on here for this Women in Sports episode.
Absolutely.
Maria, I'll be reaching out to. She's from where?
She's from Pittsburgh.
Oh, she's definitely on the show. She might become a co-host.
She,
Hey, that's the 412 affair. It's black and yellow. You see the backdrop. It's everything black and yellow.
she's a Steelers fan.
Oh, see, yeah, Maria, we're gonna have to chop it up. We're gonna have to chop it up, Maria. So, so when you talk about just your duties, right? Because I was saying earlier how I feel that there's a lot of people who don't understand or know the degree of everything that you do and or deal with. Can you kind of just run down all the things that you do? Not all, just give them a glimpse, because we didn't already gave them enough fun facts and treasure treats. So we don't need to give them too much.
Yeah, so well, just
When you got to start the sentence off, listen, people. When you start the sentence off with "oof," that's a lot that you're trying to throw into. You're trying to figure out the best way to simplify it and say it as general as possible. But
I am.
Me.
Well, so just with the media relations side, of course, I oversee, media relations, communications.
Yeah.
That contains the website. I run and operate with some help from my GAs, sometimes student workers, our DSU Hornets page, Instagram, X, Facebook, and, just overseeing the student athletes games. So that's my main thing. Games day in and day out. Luckily today we didn't have a game, so I can our next home game volleyball team. Shout out to them, 2024 MEAC champs.
Okay.
Game on Friday against UMES, 6 p.m. Be there if you were in Delaware.
Yeah.
But just being there, and I'm trying to. My goal right now is, because I lost my assistant. He went on to another job. Great for him. But I'm in the midst of trying to teach some student workers how to stat. Because ideally, it's not ideal for me to sit at a computer during games, because being an administrator, especially because I'm actually volleyball sport admin, and I oversee ticketing and parking. So it's just, that's another aspect. Like during the games, I need to be mobile, being able to, if there's an issue, handle it. So that's another aspect. So when you're talking about a football game day, let me just run that down to you real quick. On a football game day, I oversee ticketing and parking. I mean, if there's a ticket problem, they're calling my phone. If there's a parking problem, they're calling my phone. And imagine we just had homecoming. So imagine that day.
Chaotic.
Yeah, I oversee our cabanas for our football game. So just handling that, we had to set up those cabanas on Friday, had to come on Sunday morning, break those down. And then, of course, the media side, statistics. So I don't actually stat the football games, but I hire someone to do that. But I still have to oversee, make sure, they're calling me like, oh, number 30 is not who number 30, you know what I'm saying? So I have to make sure that the right players have the,
get the right stats and
right. Yeah. So just oversee.
Because you already know, not to cut you off, because you already know if you get it wrong, the players is going to reach out to you. Like, hold up, that was my sack.
Listen, you have no idea. I have made it abundantly clear to my coaches that if a player emails me, I'm not answering. Like, they need to get with you and you get with me. So we're just that. I cut that off.
Command. See, that's what I'm talking about. Old soul.
Yeah, because I have 450 athletes. If every single one email me, you think I have time to answer all of them?
450 athletes.
Yep. And I'm media relations, and I'm holding it down as a full-time person. So gotta love it. But we're working on getting someone else in here to help me. But that's just in the nutshell. And then when you talk about the SWA role, that's basically sitting right underneath my athletic director. So just help, I oversee cross country, men's and women's, sport admin, I'm sorry, women's and men's track and field, volleyball, and cheer. So that's track and field, cross country is 6 sports alone. Then you got cheer and volleyball. So that's 6, 7, 8 sports. I'm sport admin too. But it
Wow.
hurts because my coaches are phenomenal. The ones I'm over, no, they're all phenomenal. But the ones I'm over make my job. They make my job easy peasy.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, but I don't ever have major issues. We can handle the small stuff, day in and day out stuff. But other than that, that's pretty much in a nutshell. I pretty much sit in meetings all day now. Just got put into a meeting for tomorrow morning at 10. So it's just every day it's, I'm like, oh, I get to come in and do my work. And I'm like, oh,
Nah, not today. Maybe tomorrow. Nah, not tomorrow either.
But
Wow.
it's all good. It's I can sit here and give you all the what I do, but I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'm gonna leave you with this on that subject. That's why I'm so hard on my graduate assistants and my student workers, because if I wouldn't have done all of that, if like that wasn't my path, my journey to get here now in this seat,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Mm.
Because and I tell them, I'm like, okay, you guys may not be getting paid a lot or paid at all. I said, but that grunt work that you're doing right now, I'm living it. I did
Yeah.
it, and I'm reaping the benefits of it right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I promise you it's worth it. I
Yeah.
promise you it's worth it. I'm not just talking. I'm telling you because I've lived
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That's great advice, right? When you get to be the example of the message, right? You don't have to take my word for it because I didn't experience it. You don't have to take my word for it because I didn't live it. Like I'm telling you this because I too, like you, had to basically come up from the ground up. Like how we said, we get it out the mud, and you had to basically take those long days of where you're not getting money, but you're working harder than people that's getting paid, right? Or the peers that you are. Because like you said, there are millions of other things that you do that necessarily people don't prospectively put it in your purview. Like, oh, wow, wait, you're doing that too? Oh, wait, you have to do that too? So I don't think that there's a clear view of understanding exactly what it is that you do. And shout out and kudos to you. And again, the reason why I'm so grateful that you were able to join me today to give you these flowers now, because I want to just say, when I do get you on a major network, like, well, y'all late to the party. What was that joint, like, tardy to the party? They tardy to the party because I didn't already hit it all. So catch up, I got the original. But kudos to you and all the work that you have done. Definitely thank you very much for joining me, for sharing your story, for being open and transparent with everyone else, and making it fun as well. Because a lot of times in this moment, when it comes to us and our culture, we have the propensity and we have the tendency of not necessarily showing our true sides or vulnerable sides, but also lending a helping hand, as you have done to your graduate assistants. So thank you very much in that regard. And I'm going to let you have the last word. And the only thing that what I wanted to ask you to deliver a message is, if you could, right, deliver a personal insight, what advice would you give to a young woman or a young lady aspiring to enter sports media or athletics administration?
don't let up. And that's real. I can tell you right now that a lot of days where I'm like I'm out and being transparent, where I want to give up. Like it can be hard. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Don't let up. Like when I tell you, I'm telling you, there's days where you're gonna be like, I don't want to do this anymore. But just like you're asking me to tell those young ladies, I know there's people out there who need me to keep going.
Yeah.
And because I don't have any kids, I have nieces and nephews, but in the future I may have kids, but in the right now, there's people who need me to keep going, and it may be adults, it may be young adults, it's you never know who's looking. I was doing before this, I was doing some community service, and one of the young ladies, she's like, "You look so pretty." And mind you, I'm just in some light dress pants and I'm not, this ain't my best. but I know people are looking at me and they're like, and I'm looking at them, and I said, I was looking at older people, not, older people while I was
Right.
younger, and saying like, okay, I wonder, I want to be a successful career woman. So that's what I would say. Don't let up, because at the end of the day, you're eventually going to get there. It may take longer than what you want, but I'm going to tell you this, God never misses. He never misses. He always has a reason for what he does. And I'm still seeing it. I'd be like, okay, Lord, I see what you did there.
And you get that little twinkle, you get that little, I see
you, like, okay. So just don't let up. Like, all gas, no brakes, because at the end of the day, somebody is out there watching you, and I promise you, like, there's people who watch me that I don't know of.
Absolutely.
And I'm just like, but there's people who watch me that I know of, and I'm like, and I'm not trying to be perfect, nowhere near it, but I'm trying to just, obviously make people proud. And I know people say they're proud of me all the time, but it's just, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going.
She said, all gas, no brakes. Walk in every room like you belong there. Leave every room with the people wanting more.
Yep. Because I'm telling you right now, people often, the other day, and I'll leave you with this, I shook this man's hand. I don't know this man from a can of paint. I just met him that night at our concert. He walked in. He was like, it's a firm handshake. I said, well, my daddy was, he told me I got to walk in the room like I own it every single time. And that's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to tell you, I sit in a room full of men.
Yeah, man.
I gotta act like I'm the boss.
Yeah.
I gotta act like I'm the boss, because one day I might be the boss, but right now,
ain't no might be. You will be. So, we speak that into existence. But I agree. I just spoke with a group of student athletes at Eleanor Roosevelt yesterday evening. I was asked to go and be a part of a panel, and it's so funny that you said that's what someone, walk in every room like you the boss. And that was the last thing that I left with them. Walk in every room like you belong there. Leave every room with people wanting more of you. Right. And I say there's nothing better than that. Right. To give them everything that they didn't expect from you.
Right.
So I thank you very much for sharing this time with me, taking this time, spending these moments, the laughter, the information, the transparency. I definitely look to have you on again. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks at a couple of games. Again, you know what it is. Tiana Cephers, Delaware State University, Assistant Athletic Director, Media Relations, and SWA. Yeah. was the acronym right? SWA?
Yes.
Okay. Whew, Jesus, because the Lord knows I'm not going to get it all this time. But y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Pitts Sports Zone, Bowie TV. Shout out to Staples and Smart Water as my sponsors. Y'all already know what it is, man. HBCU everything. If you don't see it, you hear us. We around. Get at us. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.